Hey folks, this is Mike from Guns and Hunting. I was out shooting my Springfield Armory 1911 the other day, and I thought it'd be pretty cool to make a video about how to clean it. So first things first, do a quick safety check here. Nothing in the magazine. Nothing in the chamber. See, it's empty there. Take your barrel bushing out. Your guide rod, I mean. Now this is under a lot of pressure. Under so much pressure, I just normally grab my Allen wrench here and hold down on it. And whatever you do, don't let that go, because that thing will fly out like a bullet. So there you get your spring out and your barrel bushing. And all you have to do, there's no pressure on that. Button here, push it through. Pull your pin out. Then your frame, the slide comes right off the frame. There we go. Got the bushing out. Now we have it disassembled. So what I like to do is get Q-tips to get in here and on the rails and clean the powder residue and the dirt off. Now I'm not promoting any product or anything. I just use this. It's called Gunzilla. It's one of those CLP cleaners. But the thing that's nice about it, and thing that my wife loves about it, it's no odor. It's biodegradable, no odor, non-toxic. My other stuff, you know, I used to use, she'd get headaches from it. So I started using this. I found this at the Great American Outdoor Show up in Harrisburg. Guy at the stand was selling it, and I tried it, and it seems to work good. It's, you know, not just hype. But anyway, like I said, I'm not promoting this product or anything. I'm just using it. So first thing I do, I get some of this, put this on a Q-tip, put it in the rails here on the slide. See how dirty it is. I hand load for almost everything I shoot, and I do hand load from my 45. And the powder I use most of the time is Unique. And for people that do not hand load, Unique is a good powder, but the only drawback is it is kind of dirty. Now they did come up with a new formula that's not supposed to be quite as dirty, but yeah, it's still dirty. So I get in here and in the grooves, you know, in the slide here, and get some more. Put it on a Q-tip and on the frame. Clean it all. I like using the Q-tip because you can get in all the grooves and the cracks. You know, if you don't want to use a Q-tip, that's fine. You can use a brush, but if you have a brush, you splatter everything. You know, all the dirty residue everywhere. Here, you just, you know, you're just wiping it off basically. So I'll let that sit for a minute or two, and we'll come back. All right. Okay, we're back here. I let that sit a little bit, and I got Q-tips in the rails here and cleaned out all the rails, the locking lugs there. And on the frame, you know, I cleaned the slide rails off here, and on the feed ramp here, on the back of the hammer, you know, so that's all clean. It's not lubricated yet. I just cleaned it. So what I do, I get some of my Gunzilla and I kind of put it on a little heavy on this patch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run it through here. I guess about twice. And I want the patch a little extra wet, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this soak. And while that's soaking, I am going to lubricate my slide and the frame. Now, you guys use what you want. I'm just telling you what I use and works for me. 30 weight oil. Wilson Combat, they make some of their oil and grease. It's good stuff, you know, I'm not knocking it. It's a little salty, but you know, you get what you pay for. But that Wilson Combat oil and the grease, like I said, it's good. But they have like a high pressure grease, I think, and then they have what they call, I guess it's something like a thick oil, and it looks to be about like 30 weight oil. And with the 1911, I like to run mine a little wet. Now, I'm not saying sloppy with oil, I'm just saying a little damp. So I put some on my Q-tip here, and I'll just go over this. And then the rails here. You know, up here where the hammer's going to travel against now. You know, a little bit on the slide here maybe. Like I said, I just run it damp, not like soaking wet. Because when you get it too wet, that's an enemy. That just, you know, it just attracts dirt. You get it too wet and too oily. Put some down here in the locking lugs a little bit. I get my frame, same thing. A little bit of 30 weight motor oil. Put some on the rail here and on this side. 30 weight motor oil is actually a pretty darn good lubricant. Back in the day, a lot of guys use 30 weight motor oil for everything, lubrication, whatever. And I have a Belgian made Browning A5 Sweet 16, and I downloaded a manual from Browning, and it even says there, I forget how it's exactly worded, but it even says, you know, 30 weight motor oil on the magazine, you know, where the friction ring comes in contact with. So like I said, you don't want it slopping wet, you just want it a little moist. So that's all lubricated. Now I'm going to get changed to my brush. I'm going to brush the barrel out here a little bit. Now this CLP, you know, I thought this was really a gimmick. Because, you know, one way you can tell if you get all the copper out of your barrel is you get like some hops number 9. Make a patch really wet with it, run it down your barrel, and turn your barrel upside down that the muzzle is pointed like down, you know, and set it in your gun safe or your gun cabinet like that overnight. You put a paper towel, roll up a paper towel, you know, fold it up, put your muzzle down like that, and you come back the next day, you're going to see a green spot there on your paper towel. That is all the copper fouling came out of your barrel and drained out. Well, the first time I used this, I was pretty skeptical, and I thought, well, I'm going to try this. I, you know, cleaned it out real good, and I thought, well, I'm going to see how good this works. I think I did it to my deer hunting pistol, my 454 Casull, and cleaned the barrel, slopped it up with some of this Gunzilla, you know, scrubbed the barrel good and You know, ran a couple just wet patches through it, you know, just to make sure that I got enough cleaner in the barrel. And what I did, I sat it up on my gun safe overnight, muzzle pointing down, you know, see what came out. Well, of course, this is not hops number 9. It doesn't have like kerosene or anything in it. And it just came out, the bottom of the paper towel looked kind of black. So I thought, well, how do I know that copper fouling is really out? So I had some hops number 9 and did it, wet the patch, ran the patch through, and let me tell you, that patch came out clean. There was no copper fouling left in the barrel. Like I said, I'm just telling you guys what works for me, and that's all. Now my barrel's clean here, inside and out. I didn't have too much build up on the feed ramp there. I could just wipe that off with a paper towel. So let me clean my mess up here, and we'll be back in a second, and I'll show you how to lubricate the internal parts and put it back together. All right, we have everything cleaned and lubricated and we're ready to put it back together. We'll get our slide and our barrel, put it together. Okay. That goes together real nice with that 30 weight motor oil. Let me tell you, that is, you think 30 weight motor oil, but that's really good lubricant. Line your slide stop up. This little notch right here. Put it in. Now next is your spring. This is your recoil spring. This is under a lot of tension. So you want to make sure that you try to push this spring down straight. Get your barrel bushing. Put that in first. Get your spring. Like I said, this is under a lot of pressure. There we go. Get your guide rod, and that's already cleaned and lubricated. Put that in. Get your Allen wrench. Now you don't want to tighten this down. I mean, this is a long arm Allen wrench. I just happen to have this. Just a little snug, that's it. You don't want to put a lot of hulk on it. Now your gun is all cleaned and all lubricated. Still unloaded, nothing in the magazine, nothing in the chamber. All right, like I said, here we are, all clean, ready to go shooting again next time at the range. So, hey, like I say, you know, safe hunting and good shooting, guys. I'll talk to you later.